No, this is my workroom. Boxes, bubble wrap everywhere.
There's Edward. Hey, Edward.
Hey, Edward.
Awesome. Well, I am so glad to be here with you guys this morning. I feel very blessed for the opportunity to be on the Mastermind. There's Suzanne and Daisy. Hey, everyone. Awesome. So this morning, what I wanted to talk about on the JL Success Mastermind and to share with you guys is talking about the power of a mindset routine. And some people call it a morning routine, but a lot of, you might not get to it in the morning. You might get to it in the afternoon, or you might do it in the evening. But I really wanted to just share with you a little bit about what I have been instituting in my life and in my business in order to really step up my game in areas of mindset. So I've at times in my life and my business, I've been really, really good about having my mindset routine in. And at other times when it's dropped out, I kind of look around and I'm like, holy heck, my life is a hot mess right now. What has changed? And it always comes down to how effective I've been with my own mindset routine. And, John and I were talking about this yesterday because, we do live on a crazy planet. We just do. And no matter where you live, there is craziness happening. And John and I were talking because he came back yesterday from Florida, and we were kind of reminiscing about our travels and places we've gone in our life. And I said, remember the time we went to South Africa and we came home? We were in South Africa for like 3.5 weeks. We had done multiple safaris. So we went for business in South Africa, in Johannesburg. We stayed at a place called the Palace of the Lost City, which if you ever take the opportunity to go there, it truly is amazing. It's this like grand palace in the middle of the jungle. And legitimately, like if you leave your windows open, monkeys will come into your room. Right. So when we got there, one of the things that we were told was don't leave any valuables out because they'll be taken. Right. So, and we were like, wow, that's so weird for like a luxury resort. Right. But then we realized when the monkeys came into our friend's room, why they were saying that. Then we went up to Port Elizabeth, which is on the east coast of South Africa. And we did a safari there where we had rented this 1890s farmhouse on a reserve called Kwandwi. And we were there with friends of ours that had 3 bedrooms and its own staff. And the people who staffed this resort were so magical. They were just these heart-led people that instantly felt like family the minute we got there, right? So we fell in love with the people that were taking care of us. And ultimately, I ended up leaving everything I had with them because I was like, I don't need this stuff in the future. You take it, like luggage, everything. And then we went up to Zimbabwe. And Zimbabwe is very interesting. If you really want some historical lessons on what occurs, like some of the stuff that's occurring here in the United States right now, you should study the history of Rhodesia and Zimbabwe. When I was in Zimbabwe, they, absolutely right. It's a powerful reminder. That and also the Chinese Cultural Revolution, really dig into and study the Chinese Cultural Revolution. You'll understand that that is precisely what is happening here in the United States right now. And it's a planned formula for instituting communism, but that's a totally different side note. But we were in Zimbabwe, and in Zimbabwe, they had really horrific problems with their money, with inflation. So at the time that we were there, just to get an ice cream, like a popsicle, was 1 million zin, and a zin is their equivalent of $1. So basically $1 million to get a popsicle, right? And then after we left, about a year after we left, they cut the value of the dollar. So then it was only 500,000 zin to get an ice cream. But anywhere we went, they wouldn't take their own money anyways. We had to have US dollars in order to do anything. And I, coming from land of used plastic, I wasn't really prepared for that. So we had to go back into Zambia to get money. And going across the bridge from Zimbabwe to Zambia, you have to bribe the guards to go over, and then you have to bribe the guards to come back. So, we kind of learned how to navigate this, but it's just part of their culture, right? It's an expectation. They just expect that you're going to give them some cash because everybody's so poor there. But even though people were really poor, everybody was so kind and generous and benevolent, the people that we were working with. And what we kind of realized was it's because they're really future focused, right? Like they're really thinking about the future, and they're filled with hope for what's happening in the future. And that in itself has its own mindset to it. Well, when we came back into the US, we landed in LAX, and I don't know how many people have been in LAX airport. It's a big international hub here in the United States, and it literally is like the epitome of hell. You walk in, everybody's pissed off, nobody's paying attention to anything, and the general energy level in LAX is like stress and anxiety, right? So we got off of the plane, and I instantly burst into tears. And John was like, "What's happening to you?" And I was like, "I want to go back. Like, I want to go back to South Africa and not deal with this." And when I came back, one of the things I really had to do was to dig into my own mindset routine, because I had this profound realization that while I'm working towards my goals in life, I'm still dealing with other people, their demands, their energies, their intentions, and not everybody's intentions are good, right? Yesterday, I watched a video. I don't even know how it came across my desk, but I watched a video of a woman here in the United States who was placing an order at a McDonald's or some fast food restaurant. And she ordered a slushie, and she wanted the girl behind the counter to like mix the flavors into a unique combination. And the thing with those machines is that the workers don't have any control. They hit a button and it dispenses a certain amount of slushie, right? It's not like they can mix different flavors. And this woman went completely berserk, like went behind the counter, started beating up the employees, and was hitting the manager, right? And it was all this like sense of entitlement about what she wanted a mixed slushie. And I'm thinking here, now this woman got arrested, right? She's going to go to jail for beating up people over a slushie, right? But the reason I bring that up is just because sometimes we deal with that level of craziness, right? Or we deal with that level of for a better way of phrasing it, that level of opposing reality, right? Like we look at it and we're like, okay, a slushie, really? You're going to give up your life and live in prison for a slushie? But in her reality, that's probably a very real thing for her. I mean, I don't know, but I can't understand it. But what I can do to be cause in these situations is to really dial in my own mindset routine, right? My own ability to concentrate. And at times when this has fallen out, like, when I was going through, like when I had surgery last October, I didn't come home and like do a mindset routine every day. I was on drugs, I was just focused on like getting out of the chair and getting to the bathroom and being able to like do basic functions for myself, right? But then once that was over, I was like, okay, if I'm really going to set my game up again and not be the effect of this, I have to get my mindset routine in. So what I'm doing, I'll just share with you what I'm doing. So I get up in the morning, and the first thing I do is I cleanse my body with some really good, clean water. So I have 2 glasses of water right away. I take my dogs out because they have to do their thing. And then I get ready and I go for a walk. And I go for about a 45-minute to 1 hour walk. So I'm outside for 2 to 3 miles. And like John and I got up this morning. First thing we did was we, got water, took the dog, did the dogs, got a cup of coffee, and went for a walk. And we went for a walk. And while we went for a walk, we were talking about our goals and what we want to accomplish. Some of the things we're going to do today, right? So we're really just getting extroverted, like looking around, getting out of our head, having conversation, putting our attention on things that are not worrisome or, stressful or anything like that. Then we came back and I started to every day read this book at the start of my day. Now I've had this book for a really long time, probably 20 years. It's Napoleon Hill's Positive Action Plan, 365 Meditations for Making Each Day a Success. And man, reading this book every day has really been like profoundly inspiring for me. So I'm going to read you what it says today. And it has one little meditation for every day, right? So I read it and then I really focus on how I can put this into play today, right? Like how can I like really make the most of this today? And then I'm going to read you yesterday's because it's something that I share with my coaching students all the time. But today's is live each day as if it were your last, and you'll develop a keen respect for opportunity. If you only had one more day on this earth, how much sharper your senses would be. The beauty of nature, the simple pleasures of life would be indescribably wonderful. And every moment would present an opportunity to spend quality time with your family and strengthen relationships with friends, acquaintances, and business associates. Every thought would be laser sharp in that highly focused state. Well, today is the last day on earth for today's opportunities. Don't let them pass you by. So just looking at that, today is the first day. For many of you have participated in my CEO Freedom Challenge. And today is day one of another challenge. So looking at that, I'm like, oh my gosh, today I have so many opportunities. I have an opportunity to serve people who are new to my circle of influence. I know that many of you have been through Steve Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, right? And in there, he talks about the circle of influence. And today I have brand new people who are going to be sitting in my circle of influence, and I have an opportunity to serve them in a profound way. And then I also have an opportunity to spend time with my husband. I don't have an opportunity to spend time with my daughter today because she's at camp, and thankfully today is the last day and I get her back tomorrow. But I have opportunities to cycle back to customers or potential customers who said no the first time that I spoke to them, right? So I have opportunities for that. And then I also have opportunities to communicate with people who are bringing opportunities to me. And one of the perspectives that I often share with people, which also goes to my mindset, because after I do this, then I read my goal card. I really get a clear visualization of me communicating to someone the accomplishment and achievement of that goal, right? So who's the first person I'm going to tell? How am I going to celebrate? What is going to be my, I'm going to put this on speaker view. What is going to be my, my focus, right? And then what will be my next goal, right? Like what is going to be the emotional outcome of that? So I really get a clear picture of that. And then what I do is I sit down, I look at my calendar, and I have my to-do list, and I just get to work, right? So that is my routine in the morning. And of course, some days there's a shower in there, some days there's not, right? Today I'm on camera, so today was a shower day. I'm sure everybody's thankful for that. But it's, so this is my routine, right? And then I really have made a commitment to get at least 10 pages of a book in every day. And 10 pages is not a lot. It takes me maybe 10, 15 minutes, depending on the book. And right now I'm reading 75 Hard. So that's my mindset routine. And when I do this, a couple of really miraculous things happen. One, my energy level is amazing. It's charismatic and attractive, and I really do pull in really incredible people, opportunities, sales, lots of momentum, right? Two, I don't really feel the negative emotions that can come into business, like doubt, fear, stress, panic, anxiety, right? Those don't come in very often. Three, my business is consistently growing, and I don't have a roller coaster effect that can often happen in business, right? I really do my best to stay off the roller coaster. And then four, my relationships really work well. And I end up finding a lot of joy in those relationships. I'm creating on those relationships. I have great conversations. I find that I'm contributing to others more. I feel more fulfilled, right? I feel way more fulfilled in what I'm doing. And just in general, I'm inspired by life. I'm inspired by what other people are doing. I'm inspired by what I'm doing, and I'm inspired by life. So when I think about opportunities, the other thing that I'm going to share with you, and this is something that I write about often on social media, because social media is one of those things where we can get a lot of what we want and a lot of what we don't want, right? And people can become the effect of what flows towards them by choice. So what do I mean by that? Well, oftentimes I get friend requests. I mean, I get tons of friend requests. And then I also get a lot of people who invite me to look at their business or their products or their opportunity in my messenger. And what I find is a lot of people get really pissed off about that, like really emotionally upset. They're like, this is my messenger. How dare you pitch me? What the hell? You should get to know me first, and like all this other stuff that comes up. And I often wonder about that, especially from people who are in business, because in business, we want people to know about our products and opportunities. So we should expect that other business people would want us to know about their business and opportunities too. And are we just on the giving end of that, or are we also on the receiving end of that? And when we talk about flows go both ways, right? So flows can flow from you to another, and then it can flow from another to you. And if we're blocking off a flow in either direction, then we shouldn't be surprised when opportunities don't come our way, because we've put up enough energetic barriers to prevent them from showing up, right? And so one of the things that I do is, when I'm scanning through my messenger every day, is I look for those opportunities, and I look for the people who are sharing with me opportunities to join their group. And I'll look at their group and I'll either say yes or no, but I always congratulate them on putting the group together. I know it's not a lot. I know it's a lot of work. And I might just say, the group doesn't really fit for me or what I'm doing, but I want to thank you for the invitation. And then I'll then turn that into an opportunity to ask them questions like, how is your group going for you? Are you finding that you're able to make sales from it? And if they say no, I say, oh, I could give you some tips on that. I make sales for my group every day or every week, right? And now I've turned it into an opportunity to connect with that person from my direction, right? So do you see how being open to receiving that can also create an opportunity for you to redirect that openness into a connection that can then further your opportunity. Like maybe someone invites you to your group and you say, hey, thank you for inviting me to my group. I really appreciate it. I would love for you to check out my product on Amazon. Here's a link, right? So now you've received their flow and you're flowing back to them. And that type of person is going to say, oh my gosh, of course I'm going to check it out, right? Because you've just acknowledged receiving that opportunity. So one of the things I talk about on social media is, don't be so closed off that you don't see the opportunities that are there in front of you, right? Really take those opportunities. Last week, I had a fantastic opportunity with a girl who was brand new to direct selling, single mom, really trying to create a better life for her and her family. And she joined a new direct selling company and she said, hey, would you check it out for me? And I said, yes. And then she said, would you be open to buying something? Because I'm really looking to get my first 8 customers. And when I get my first 8 customers, I get a bonus and it would really make a big difference. And I said, sure, I'll do that. And it cost me $20. I bought a product from her and what I gave to her was confidence. I gave to her the feeling that she could do this. I gave to her the reality that there are good people out there who aren't just going to shut her down. There's people open to supporting her in what she's doing. And it created, this really amazing energy flow where about an hour after that, and I don't know if this is the exact reason, but I've had a woman who's been looking at CFA for the last 3 months and has been on the fence and paid fully, not even a payment plan, paid fully for CFA after that. So I outflowed $25 and I made 4,000, right? So to me, that's the kind of momentum and opportunities that we're looking for. Now, the last thing that I want to leave you guys with is I'm going to read you yesterday's, because one of the things that I say to my coaching students quite a bit when they're asking me if they should wait for something, like, should I wait until I have my website up or should I wait until I have this? I always say wait is a 4-letter word, right? Because wait is a stop. It's not putting anything into the future. It's a total nothingness. It's no momentum. It's anti-creation. It's a pause. And it literally is a stop, right? So wait is a 4-letter word. It's the worst 4-letter word. So yesterday's affirmation out of this book was that's June 16th. Just what are you waiting for and why are you waiting? Far too many people spend their entire lives waiting for that glorious day when the perfect opportunity presents itself to them. Too late, they realize that each day held opportunity for those who sought it out. If you have not formulated a plan for what you would like to accomplish in your life, don't waste another minute. When you have definiteness of purpose, fueled by a burning desire to reach your objectives, nothing can stand in your way. Don't wait around waiting for life to happen to you. When you know what you want and how you expect to earn it, life will agree to your terms, not the other way around. So mindset routine, really getting that in, can have a profound effect on you, your results, and your business. So I want to open this up for discussion. I would love if you guys want to raise your hands or just pop out here. But just what your perspective is on this and how having, how putting mindset actions has made a difference in your life and your business. Come on out, Mark.
Hey, Shannon. Thanks. Everybody can hear me okay? I think I have my volume all right.
Yeah.
This was an interesting topic today. As you started out, what caught my attention first was your travel in Africa, because I spent 6 months in Kenya.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So in Nairobi and traveling around Garissa and Wajir and Bargoni and Lamu and you name it. So Savo East, or excuse me, Savo West. I didn't go to Savo East. There was too much banditry in that part of the world. But I had just an absolutely amazing time when I got done with that. Was 2003. When I got done with that, I look back on that and I thought I could live here. I really loved Kenya. It was just a great place, and it was right after um, Kabaki had taken over for Rap Moi in December 2002. So there's some changes that would come down the pike, but I just found it interesting the tribal environment there and how that still remained despite all the years of geopolitical turmoil through the African continent and other places in the world. And like you say, the historical aspects of that part of the world are pretty amazing. But
Mm-hmm.
I found being there, just I had a great time. I met some amazing people, and I could go back into New York second and not have missed a beat. And like you said, when you came back and you just the kind of the feeling here, I I experienced some of that too, and just when I think of all the things that we have available to us here in this country, they're actually what that helped define for me too is what really is necessary and what isn't.
Mm-hmm.
What do I really need to survive and participate in the world, and what can I do without all the conveniences? And I found that I could really do away with a lot of the conveniences. Hence, I have continued to pursue subscriptions to international living and looking at other parts of the world and looking at a plan B, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But to get into what you're talking about here, this environment and what you and John have provided in the JLSM environment has allowed me, and the family sits right in front of me here. This is just a portion, but all the opportunities that I did not know or probably would not have pursued or understood as a result of no participation in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I give a lot of credit for, because it has opened the doors for a lot of things, which I am participating, multiple channels of income. And matter of fact, I just finished writing kind of a script on that in that regard, and this caused me to do some reflection on some things that were happening through 2019 and 2020. And this environment has opened the doors because everybody here has these different these different directions. I think a week or two ago, Ivier was even talking about this. Not everything is for everybody necessarily, but it doesn't mean you don't take a look. And if anything I can say regarding JLSM is it's just what you talked about this morning. It's opening the mind and being willing to say yes. Let's at least take a look.
Mm-hmm.
If one shuts that down before they even start, you're dead in the water. I mean, what have you done to yourself? You've cut yourself off at the knees before you've even you're blinding yourself by not even opening the door and taking a look. And this environment has allowed the mental imagery here, the machinery, just to kind of open up and say, hey, look what's really out there. Yeah, do I pursue some things more than others? And with this multiple channels of income, there's an ebb and flow. Something may take second seat for a while I escalate on this because I'm feeding the stallion, so to speak. And then as these things level off, then they refocus some attention on that. And it's just a number of things. I have 4 or 5 different things I'm doing now that just take different different approaches, different weights of effort at different times. And I'm finding that at least initially, as I used to say last year, I'm feeding from the fire hose. Yeah, I'm feeding from the fire hose still, but I'm getting better, think, at determining what I need to focus attention on and when.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not as critical to myself or about myself, or as Glenn puts it, just because I have failures along the way, which we all get, doesn't mean I am a failure.
That's
And
right.
I just keep focused. And like you, don't let it beat you up, because I do have a tendency to be that way. I don't know how everybody else is, but after 40 or 50 years, and you kind of go with the herd, and you start to have these sort of attitudes and these default mechanisms. Got to make these changes. You got to be willing to adjust and remain to the positive. The of all the readings that I've done, it was the very first reading that we pursued with James Allen's 1910 book, talking about as a man thinketh. And it's only 27 pages, but I still resort to, of all the readings that we've done, the 5-second rule, power of consistency, you name it, Hal Elrod, all the stuff. I still look to those words in Allen's in Allen's book, because it's where we're tilling the soil of our own mental garden. And I find myself daily having to take a conscious effort to go, no, stay away from that rabbit hole,
Mm-hmm.
and focus on what's positive. And the whole, we talk about Nightingale and The Secret and The Greatest Secret and all these things that we keep reading about, and it just, the mind starts to cultivate the positiveness, and we bring in that law of attraction, and those things, if we stay that, it tends to go that way. And then I find that I am more positive and in an environment of people attempting to succeed, which makes me feel more competitive in a positive way and want to reach out and do more things. And it's kind of self-feeding. And instead of being self-feeding to the, to the dark side, so to speak, it's self-feeding, to the light, to being better at what I'm doing. And it doesn't mean I'm having, every day is a perfect day. By no stretch of the imagination is that the case, but it is allowing me to be more productive,
That's
more
awesome.
on myself. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank John. I thank everybody here. I'm grateful.
I love it.
A sign behind her. Be grateful. I am.
I think that you would also love the book 75 Hard, because in it he talks about that voice in our head that, like, we all I call it the devil voice. It's the one that's like invalidating us or saying I didn't get enough done or I need to do more or like a gazillion things. But in that book, he calls it the bitch voice. And the first time I read that, I just loved it so much, because then I started just saying, like, shut up, bitch. In my head. And I was
That's right.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks,
Edward, come on out.
Well, let me tell you, I am just pleased as punch. I am, because, prior to coming to this group, I got up every day in a reactionary, put on my armor kind of scenario. And it was like, what's going to happen today,
Yeah.
And I had all this knowledge, all this information, and it was sitting on a shelf. All these books that we read in the Mastermind, I got every one of them. And I've read most of them, never completed them. But, now I'm using them.
Wow.
Which is just transformational. I mean, like you're talking about the morning routine. I'm still doing the 3, number 1, posted, number 2, getting some inspiration, and number 3, writing out your goals every day. I'm doing it every day. And that has made such a huge difference in what's going on, my results. And I don't have to worry about the negativity, because now, just like you said, charisma and reactionary people react to you differently. Your vision changes because you're expecting so much different outcomes. And, I used to be so scripted, but now I'm just authentic, and it just flows so much better. And you don't have to think about, what do I say this now? Do I say this now? Do I say that to that person? No, you ain't got to worry about it, because you are in control and you be you. You know, I mean, all this about, you know, waiting. I was a big waiter. You know, I used to walk around with, with whoever it was right here. You know, is this for you, ma'am? You know, I mean, I was a waiter. But now I am not waiting. I'm not waiting. I'm doing. I'm getting. I'm moving. I used to be scattered, like you said about the bombardment of events. You know, they used to come at you all day. You know, first thing you do is get up in the morning, look at the news and all that. That's over for me. I hadn't looked at the news since we've been doing this JLM Mastermind.
Wow.
I don't do it, not anymore. I don't care. You know, my wife will let me know about something. I'm like, really? Is that what happened? I hate it, you know, but hey, this is where I'm going, you know. So the habits that we accrue over time, if you don't have correct information, it's detrimental.
Mhm.
And correct information changes everything.
Mhm.
And it enlightens you. It makes you more attractive. It makes you more knowledgeable, and it makes you share things with people that want what you have because it's so attractive. It's so your charisma is just beaming, and not only that, but I mean, not just in person, over the phone, in text correspondence and all that. You get a lot more people reacting to you because of the flow and the vibration that you push out. So I thank you guys for allowing me to see that, understand that, and it's just profound. And I thank you once again.
That is awesome, Edward. What a testimony. And what a shift too, right? Because when you're authentically you and you develop that confidence, then you can have conversations with people that are just you communicating to another human being with the purpose of serving them with your products and services, right? So, wow, fantastic. Okay, who else? Anyone else want to pop out here? And I did put the name of the book and the link to 75 Hard down there. I don't know that 75 Hard is on Amazon, so I put the link to buy it from the author too. And it's a really easy read, very easy read. Okay, good. Well, then let's conclude for today. I'm going to go prep for the challenge. If you guys want to participate in the challenge, make sure you are in. Let me put the Facebook group here.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask you about the challenge. Should we do it more than once?
Sure. Yeah,
Okay.
number of times through improves certainty.
Okay.
Yeah, and plus we change it a little bit every time.
Okay.
So we tweaked it a little bit. Like day one is definitely very different than day one the last 3 times.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. And then also introduce yourself in the group, you know, because you can do a post in that group about your business and promote yourself. So that would be great. Okay, everybody, have a fantastic day. Thanks for being here with me this morning. And if you're going to be on the challenge, we're starting that at the top of the hour, and we'll see you there. So have a great day, everyone.